My name is Wade, and I'm an alcoholic.
Wade.
And I got lucky enough to come to AA in 1983. I walked into my first meeting, and I had been looking for a way to get out for a long time. And everything I tried, I'd ask my friends, but they all drank too, and so I'd ask them, well, how do I get out of this deal? Well, it's just quit drinking. Don't drink so much, And I actually tried that, and it didn't work with the beans, and I had this problem about blacking out. And when I blacked out, I never knew. Sometimes I would be the funniest guy you ever met. And other times I would be Frankenstein, and I'd piss in your house or tear up your potted plants or do something so that people would go, oh God, if I ever get as bad as that guy, I quit, Anyway, before I got to that first AA meeting, I was sitting at home watching TV one night. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the only thing that was on was the 700 Club. And so I'm sitting there by myself watching the 700 Club, and this little Christian guy gets on there, and he goes, hey, if you're having a problem with drugs and alcohol, give me a call, And so I called him up. What do I have to lose, And he had me say some prayer with him over the phone. And I didn't feel better, And so I said, you little prick, And I proceeded to just tell this guy off, And it wasn't his fault. He was trying to help me, I know that now, but back then I was hurt and I wanted him to know it. Well, about 2 months later is when I walked into my first AA meeting. So it just kind of took a while to catch up, And I went with my roommate, just got out of Milam Recovery Center. And before he went in, we had rented this house and we didn't want to lose it. So I says, well, I'll take care of the house while you're gone. And when you get back, I'll go to those meetings with you. I thought, shit, man. I felt like I just told him the big lie because I didn't know if I was going to go or not, But I actually did. It was to a little church in Lake Forest Park. And when I went home that night, I actually felt better. And so that caused me to go to more meetings. And Tom and I were scoping it out, going to different meetings like every night, just like we drank every night. We were going to meetings every night. And he knew all this stuff from Milam that I didn't know. I had no idea. Anyway, over the years, I gave alcohol a chance to fix a lot of shit. And it never fixed nothing. Every time I mixed alcohol with my problems, they only got worse. And you'd think I would remember that. But when I was like 52, I had a couple of drinks at an Eagles club. So my birthday is considerably different than what it would have normally been. Because if I want to be honest about it, I'm going to start over again, And so that's what I did. And so about 5 months ago, I had my last drink, hopefully. Anyway, my family says, are you going to those meetings again? You're not that bad, And I'm thinking, well, you don't have any idea. They've never seen me. Me and Mike were talking about this earlier. They've never seen me sitting on the edge of my bed with a gun in my mouth. But I have, Anyway, I moved back here from Florida after I got a divorce. And I found myself in my mobile home by myself, belting down pints of bourbon. And I'm drinking alone because I'm lonely. Now, how in the hell does that make any sense? It didn't fix none of it. It didn't fix none of it, And so I called Mike one night, and he called Tom, and the next thing I know, I'm jetting to all these goddamn meetings everywhere, and I don't even know where some of those places are, because it's been a while, but it's getting better, and I'm doing the things that I knew I knew I was going to come back to AA as soon as I put that alcohol in my mouth. I knew I was headed back. I didn't have any big deals when I relapsed or whatever you want to call it. I drank again. I didn't relapse. But like I said, I knew I was going to come back. And no matter what anyone could say to me, it would pale in existence to what I said to myself. But I'm getting over it. And Mike shanghaied me in this meeting. He asked me, hey, you want to go to a meeting? He didn't say, and by the way, be a suspect. I mean, they're usually taking my picture when I'm a suspect. I'm more used to that than I am to getting up and talking. Anyway, I have a lot more in my first step than I could make it the big horror story, because that's exactly what it was. My life was a horror story. During my relapse, I didn't have any big deals, but I couldn't forget anything that I learned in AA. It was ringing in my ears the whole time. You know, I've heard that you can't have a head full of AA and a belly full of booze. I've heard all that stuff, you know, and now I know that it's true. I know what happens to people that quit going to meetings, that quit doing this stuff, that gets them to where some folks have gotten to. And my own opinion here is that if you stop doing the things that are keeping you sober, sooner or later, it's going to get you. It got me, and the thing is I found myself, I thought I was controlled drinking, get this. And I would go down to Bartell Drugs because they can sell booze now. And so I'd go down there and I'd buy a pint. And if I bought a half a gallon, I'd drink a half a gallon. If I bought a fifth, I'd drink a fifth. And man, I'm deadly afraid of what a half a gallon or a fifth will do to me. So I stuck to the pints. Well, what happened was I started getting those pints, and then I'd mix a couple of them small bottles of Wild Turkey with it, you know, because Wild Turkey tastes better than cheap bourbon. Anyway, I'm drinking more and enjoying it less. And I'm hiding out of my house because I want to be safe. So what it did, instead of making me not lonely, it made me 10 times more lonely because I didn't call nobody. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't want to get a DUI. I mean, I was a corrections officer for King County for 12 years. So I can just see me going in as the suspect, getting my picture taken, you know, and from guys that I worked with and stuff, you know. So anyway, it's good to be back. I'm doing all the things that I know I should have done in the first place. And I know I'll get past this. Thank you.
Thank you.